Okay, well, the first thing I gotta do, obviously, I gotta pull the pots out because, well, you can't really do much when they're just sitting in there. As pulling some of the stuff up is going to disturb my dirt. I'm going to want to do a water change after this anyway, so I'm going to do a 50% drain, clip up the plants, move around what is staying in the tank, pull the pots out, and then I'll show you how I'm going to prepare the HC for planting. Alright, just a little tip, which I was reminded of thanks to Mr. Honey to You and his beginner mistakes not to make video that he just put out about a week ago. Make sure when replanting plants, trim your roots. Just like if they were new, it will encourage root growth in the new location, because even if you're using the same substrate, nutrients might be lacking in the new area that you move it to compared to the old area. The plant has to adjust to them. That'll help. It also assists in planting them, as the shorter roots are much easier to bury rather than pushing it down and try to finagle long roots into your substrate. Okay, stir guy repents. Move it over here. Italian valve's been replanted over here. One thing, especially those guys that are beginners in dirted aquariums, one tool you will want to never leave your tank without: simple bamboo skewer. Eventually, you're going to get the organic decomposition in your dirt level. You want to make sure you don't get gas buildup. So occasionally just take your skewer, make sure you break that layer. As you can see, I got quite a bit because I haven't done this in quite a while. You're going to stir up some dirt. But a good time to do is right when you're doing a water change, because you want to evacuate the gases this is releasing, because it will be toxic to your fish in high enough quantities. Which I'm doing at 50%. I'm going to take another 5 gallons out of this tank once I get done planting the HCN. So you want to make sure you release those gases. Now to show you how I'm going to prepare and plant the HC. Okay, so to prepare my baby tears, I'm taking full pot, obviously, take it out of pot, cut it in half this way, well, a little more than half, left about ½ inch of the mineral wool on the bottom, and cut it in half lengthways. Then I'm quartering it. Each of these quarters I'm going to quarter again, so I have about a 1/4 inch 3/8 plug that'll be plugging into the substrate. If I had sand in there, I would take a portion of these and plant them stem by stem to get faster coverage, but I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, pretty sure they should do decently well under the LEDs, but if they don't, it will leave me an easy ability to unplant them, as I'll be able to pull the individual plug out, and a large majority of the baby tears will come with it. And also, I plan on using the growth I do get in the 30 to help start the 80 once I get that scape going. So I want to be able to remove a quantity of it easily to replant. So before the stuff dries out too much, I'll get the stuff cut up, and I'll probably put some paper towel on a cookie sheet so I can transport it easily. Okay, so all sectioned up. Time to go start plugging. I'm gonna try to film this. Camera left-handed doesn't work too well for me, let alone trying to do it while I'm looking at the camera, not the tank. But as you can see, that's what I got it. Plug in the clip here, work it down into the substrate. Hard part's getting these the tongs are sort of wide. Sort of work it in there, and grab another one, put it back in, and repeat the process until I got it all covered where I want it. All the plugs are in. Took a couple of them and put them in the beta tank here. See how well they do under this LED. I'm not even really sure what it's rated at, but we'll see. Now I'm going to take some of these root tabs. These are DIY. I got them from I4U. He sells them for 50 cents a piece, I think it is. Every once in a while you can catch him, he'll give you a deal for like 40 cents each or something, which, you can do the math, it adds up, but they've worked pretty well in this tank so far. I'm going to put one in the middle of the Surrogain, one about in the middle of the, middle towards the back here, which will also feed some of the plants in the back here, and one right about here, which I'll just swap hands here. Simple as... Oops. Okay, not as simple as that. Grab that good and deep. And repeat that with the other two. Pull another 5 gallons out of here so I can get some of that gassed water out. So like I said, get that gas out of the substrate. You want to make sure you get water out of here so you don't end up with toxic water from your fish. Because right now, filters are off, circulation pumps off, there is no gas exchange. I left one piece right up in this glass here so I can monitor the root growth. Eventually the roots and substrate will take over the mineral floss. But get the water changed, get everything turned back on, let it clear up a little bit, show you the final. Still a little cloudy from the really fine particulate that will take a couple hours to clear up, but there she is. I trimmed off the rhizome here from this Anubis nana. Put it over here, so it'll take off there. There's the dwarf baby tears. Steroginer pens. Trimmed up the jungle val in the back there. Italian val planted in there. A couple things getting caught in the moss that have been floating around. Little duckweed getting shoved around by the filter, but my dwarf gourami likes to nibble on them. There he is. A gold nugget plego on there. For the beginning aquascapist, key tools, some pair of kitchen or scissors, bamboo skewers. I usually keep a 50 pack on hand. Useful for fluffing plants up, organizing leaves as needed, pulling them out from underneath stuff. Piercing substrate, get gases built up out. Also putting small holes in your substrate so you can plant something in there, as some of these plugs that I made are not the easiest, so I had to make a small little hole for them to sit in and then move them a little. And tongs. Cost me $6 for these. They're just fluval planting tongs. a little wide. I'd like to invest in some pin sets with a nice sharp pointed tip for the fine root stuff. Just take your time, and you'll end up moving stuff around 10 times. And last week I've moved stuff in this tank 3-4 times already. So don't get frustrated if it's not right the first time.